George, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You look knackered basically at the end of that. Just how tough physically was that and how satisfying does that make that win?
Yeah, it's amazing to get a win here because this track has not been my best friend over the years. Most of the time through my own doing. So I felt that I had a bit to make amends here. And then obviously it is the most physical track of the season. And it's the longest race of the year. You know, it's half an hour longer than the race in Monza 4 races ago. So by the end, I was destroyed. I lost almost 4 kilos. So I was glad to cross the line in the lead.
What can you take out of this weekend on a track where I don't think even you expected this kind of performance?
I don't know. We need to review it because I'm sure there's answers why we were so quick. This track historically has been one of a lot of overheating. This weekend, for whatever reason, I think they re-tarmacked some corners. There was not as much overheating as usual, and that led to our strong results. So the truth is, though, Lando was exceptionally quick. You know, to be 1 second behind Max for so long was very impressive.
So it's going to nudge a new contract into your own pocket, you think?
Asking the wrong guy.
Hey Max, considering how many things it sounded like you were trying to manage or how difficult that car was in that race, how pleased are you to have got second today on a track that at the start of the weekend didn't think you'd be that strong at?
Yeah, it was a bit more difficult than I would have hoped for, to be honest. For whatever reason in the race, I was struggling a lot with the downshifts and upshifts of the car, which was giving me a lot of pushing under braking, which on a street circuit you don't want. The car was also not where I wanted it to be, unfortunately. A few things, of course, to learn from that. I think from some decisions that we made throughout the weekend in terms of the setup. Of course, we didn't do a proper long run, so that doesn't help. But it's not like it's a mystery, let's say like that, why it didn't go so well in the race. So we just need to analyze that. In hindsight, even if, let's say, the balance would have been perfect, I think second was still the best possible because you can't pass around here. As you could see, I think for more than an hour I had Lando behind me, and I think he was clearly faster, but you can't pass. This track is unfortunately too difficult to have a proper battle unless you have some severe issues with tire management or whatever. And that then kept us in second today. Of course, we went for a different strategy at the start with the soft, knowing that the left-hand side of the grid was very dirty, which we measured over the weekend. So I knew that if we would start on the same tires also, we would lose out. So we had to take a risk. And for me, that first stint was all about just managing to go long enough.
Despite obviously not quite having the pace in the McLarens here, do you think you've seen enough to give you encouragement on the other high downforce circuits coming up? This team just keeps making improvements and you're going to be in the fight.
We were more competitive, but I think it's still not our favorite layout, let's say like that. But then maybe some other tracks will come to us a bit more. We just have to see it race by race.
Hey Lando, no drink, no cooling vest and an incredible drive today. How are you feeling?
Not great. Tough one today. But I guess a good result. From a P3, but also for us as a team, other constructors. That was our goal into the weekend, of course. I want to win, but to come away with another constructors, that's our goal as a team. So makes up for it, makes up for everything else, and just very proud, happy to celebrate with everyone, and happy that all their work is worth it.
Caught a real glimpse of how much you want it if we need to remind it in that start and how you made up those places and had some really tight racing. What's your kind of view of that position and the way that you hunted Max down for a lot of that race?
Yeah, I mean, we were easily the quickest out there today. I just felt very good today, not physically, but just on track I felt good behind the wheel and felt comfortable. So I know it's just a big gaps on the first lap. Half the track was still wet, so it was a bit sketchy at times. Easy to have little corrections and things like I had in turn 3. And there was a little bit of contact and that was it. So nothing more than that. But we're also here to race, and fight. And I tried. I wish I could have fought Max a little bit more, but it's just impossible to overtake. I thought I was a lot quicker. Quite confident that if I got ahead of Max, I could have easily caught George, but just can't. Not enough opportunities here and just too difficult to follow. So a shame, but we did what we could.
Hey Oscar, well firstly obviously congratulations on the Constructors' Championship win, but to focus on your race and that opening sequence that defined it, just talk me through your emotions and the frustrations that we obviously heard on the team radio.
Yeah, obviously very proud of the whole team. This is one of the two objectives we set out to achieve every year, so to achieve it with this many races to go is very, very impressive. So yeah, just very happy for the whole team.
And what about that incident with Lando as well at the start, that obviously we heard a couple of radio messages, understand your frustration obviously, just talk me through what the talks are going to be like after this TV pen.
I need to go and look at it. Obviously there was contact, which is never ideal, but I'll go and have a look at the replays.
Hey Kimi, back-to-back top 5 finishes. You pleased with how today went considering the bad start that you had at the beginning?
Yeah, the start was difficult. Left-hand side, the grip was a bit worse than the right-hand side. Was a bit dirtier and just a bit more difficult to do a good start. And as well, yeah, it was a shame because I think that defined a bit the race. And as we've seen previously, track position is extremely important. And yeah, just lost a couple of places at the start and yeah, then stuck behind Leclerc. The pace was really good, to be honest. I felt really, really good in the car. And yeah, just a bit disappointing because the potential was higher. And I think with a better Q3 could have been a different story. But we'll try to do better next time.
And it feels like an improvement nonetheless. Do you take a lot of encouragement from the way that A, the car performed in these slightly warmer conditions and on this type of track, and B, the way you've performed for the second successive weekend? It's a real consistency.
Yeah, no, definitely the confidence is getting stronger and stronger. I'm able to, really put the car where I want and to really play with the car. So that's a real positive one. And yeah, just really looking to the next few races. And of course, congratulations to George for winning the race. He did a great job and he maximized the result. And also congratulations to McLaren for winning the Constructor, and congratulations to our department as well of HPP at Brixworth, because they've done an incredible job back to back. Our engine is winning the championship, so incredible job from them as well.
Hey Charles, how frustrating is it to get beaten by McLaren and Red Bull and a Mercedes and kind of showing where Ferrari's relative pace is at the minute?
It's tough. It's very tough. We are not strong at the moment, and we are struggling massively with the car. Yeah, it's not easy. I wish I could say that I'm positive for the rest of the season. I don't think there's anything in the car at the moment that proves me that we are going to do a step forward, and I think this is the reality of our situation at the moment. And yeah, I don't quite know how to turn that situation around because we don't have new parts or anything coming to the car.
But are you surprised at the situation that you guys find yourself in? Because I know it's been generally a tough season, but it just seems to have got tougher rather than better, if that makes sense.
Surprised. I mean, I was surprised at the beginning of the season. Then you work to try and find solutions to that, and we did steps forward, but the others did as well. So the gap stayed kind of the same, and then Red Bull kind of did 2 steps in the season, first half, and then in Monza more recently, where they did a really big step forward. And now Mercedes seems to have done this step forward, and we are the only one that didn't find that solution.
Fernando, that was some vintage stuff out there. I know the pit stop made your life harder, but you pleased at the way you were able to fight back?
Yeah, it was a very good race for us. The car was fast, the car felt fast. In the first stint, we opened a nice gap with the soft tire, lasts longer than we expected, so that was a very good news. And then slow pit stop, but the car is still very fast in the second stint, and we finished in the same position. So yeah, some fun battles as well. Singapore, never easy to overtake, but as I said, I had an advantage on the tire as well. Everyone fitted the hard on the second stint, I fitted the medium. So that was a good call from the team, and I had this tire advantage that gave me the opportunity to overtake.
Was it nice also to just have some fun out there for a while? Maybe the most fun you've had all year, just with a car that you could go after it?
Well, I prefer not to have much fun and be a little bit alone in the position that we deserve that afternoon. But yeah, today we overcome a little bit the problem on the stop, and Yeah, it was good, but there is high risk always when on a street circuit you have to recover a few places.
What do you think was going to be possible then today without that slow start?
Same.
Yeah.
I think what we lost in the pit stop, we recovered it on performance. So yeah, it was a good race.
Hey Ollie, there was a phase of that race where I thought you weren't going to get any points. How pleased are you to have got some on the board today?
Yeah, really happy. After lap 1, a bit of an incident, dropped down to P10. Then I was under a lot of threat from Nico behind, who was very fast. And generally on that first stint, I was struggling a lot with the car balance. We made a good step for the second one. And actually we were looking on for P8, because of Alonso's slow stop. Unfortunately, I lost the position to him. He seemed a bit quicker than us today, but happy to score points.
And in a really tight midfield battle in the Constructor Championship, these points are priceless, aren't they?
Yeah, super, super important. Bit disappointed with myself that I didn't fight a bit harder to secure that P8, but looking that Fernando was able to pull 10 seconds after that, I feel like it was a matter of time that he was coming through. But anyway, I think, on a tough track, we executed a great weekend.
Hey Carlos, well, what a heck of a fight back today to get that point from the back. Just tell me how good that feeling is.
Very good. I honestly had a lot of fun. Was quite long, quite boring for 50 laps. I thought that maybe to get a point we needed safety cars, we needed something to happen in the race. In the end, nothing happened. But when I boxed for the soft tire at the end and we found so much pace, we actually had a lot of fun, overtaking a lot of cars, being the quickest car on track there at the end, and managed to recover a point for the team after a difficult day yesterday, so very happy.
Is it a bit bittersweet because given the pace of the car, it could have been a great weekend, couldn't it, without the disqualification?
Yeah, definitely. We've all done mistakes this weekend. I didn't do a good job in quali. We changed too many things from P3 to quali, and I was a bit lost. Doesn't matter because we were disqualified, but we're making mistakes as a team still, which is what this year is there for. I think in a clean, normal weekend, P7, P8 was in the cards. We finished P10, so it's not a big drama, and our rivals didn't get a lot of points, so we managed to salvage the weekend a bit. At the same time, we need to keep getting better. Today we executed a perfect race. I think we were the only car of the field to actually move forward with a midfield car, to go from 18th to 10th. When you see how little position variation there's been today, I think it's definitely a good day.
You had to work so hard today. I thought you were going to get that point at the end. Just sum up how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, it was not a good race. We had an issue, I think, just before pitting, and from there it was just a very, very long race. I couldn't do anything, and I was just hoping for the others not to catch up too quickly, but they did. And clearly we got impacted a lot by the blue flags. We lost a lot there, and Carlos pitted before the blue flag, so he benefited from that, but still we should have done better.
How demoralising was it when they came on the radio, they told you about that engine issue?
Really not good. It's you feel powerless. Obviously in the corners we are pretty much there, the rest not so much, so it's not nice, but at least I know it's not my fault. Nothing I could have done. I gave my all, and even like this we finished 11th, so it's not bad.
Hey Yuki, for a lot of that race, it looked like that early stop was pulling you back into contention to score points, and obviously towards the end when you had to lose time for blue flag, it kind of went away from you. Just talk me through how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, probably the worst start I ever done in my life. Well, the start itself was okay, but just I can't imagine what I saw there, but just lost the position, and I didn't have place to go. To be honest, every spaces I try to go is just covered by someone for just randomly. So like a terrible first lap. It's a shame that because the pace was really, really good afterwards. So I don't know what to say with that first lap, honestly. The worst start ever.
I know that you didn't score today, but you said that the pace was really good on a track where Red Bull shouldn't have been that strong. Does that give you hope that hopefully if you qualify better next time round, these next couple of races high downforce, you should be in better shape?
yeah, I have to find the reason why I'm just lacking of this tire preparation or like grip feeling in one lap, which I had that since previous race. So definitely something that I have to figure out. The shame that long run now is really really good. Like complete opposite situation compared to before Azerbaijan, and now the one lap is now struggling a little bit. So you just have to put it all together now, and I think it will come together.
Hey Lance, will you give that soft tyre a good run for its money today? You tried your best with it. Just talk me through how that race went for you.
Well, yeah, we did the best we could. I mean, we tried to hang it out there and wait for a safety car. In the middle of the race, which never came. And then 13th was kind of the best I think we could do today.
I know that qualifying, or that tough qualifying, made life hard for you today. Have you started to come up with some ideas of how to make that better going forward?
Just keep trying.
As you rolled the dice starting from the pit lane, making some suspension settings, and in some phases maybe it might work out. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I would say not really. It didn't work out, but it was okay. Just pit lane start, cruising around for a little bit, tried to get past one of the Alpines at the start of the race, but inevitably didn't really have the pace to do it. Had to wait for them to box. Tried to hold on and go long, but didn't really have the tyres. That was pretty much it. We came out with blue flags, so when we did have new tyres we couldn't even use it because we were stuck behind, I think it was Oscar, and then by the time I had to wait for Oscar to catch the cars in front. So it was all basically what could have gone wrong went wrong, and it was okay. We learned something. I think I tried a lot of things with the setup, and it didn't work, but it was good to cross it off actually. So that was about it.
Is it also just the kind of weekend that these things happen, you just put it behind you and move on? They can't all be perfect, I guess.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I think if we started where we should, if we started P12, P13, I think we were going to be both a good chunk in the points. I think if we did a similar strategy, I think our pace was good when we got clean air, but we didn't get clear air often. And wasn't meant to be, but there's a lot of learning from this weekend, not just in terms of setup, but also obviously in terms of understanding some of the processes that obviously led to our disqualification. So we'll tidy that all up for next weekend, next race.
Hey Liam, clearly a really tough physical race out there. Just talk me through how you're feeling right now. Obviously didn't quite have enough to fight into the points today.
Yeah, I mean, we just went very, very long, stayed out most of the race on that set of mediums. Honestly, I don't really know. I need to have a look what happened because Carlos was behind me and then he ended up finishing 10th. So I have no idea what happened in that lap. But yeah, for me, I came out behind the train and he came out in front of the train. So I need to have a look why. But yeah, it's frustrating. But for me, obviously, the damage was mostly done yesterday from me. So yeah, something to reflect on for sure going forward.
And then any kind of positives you can take from the way that you did try to recover this race, and without that kind of weirdness of coming out behind the train, you might have even scored today.
I mean, yeah, I think we could have, but I think we struggled a lot towards the end of that stint anyway. Definitely more than Carlos behind. He was able to actually keep quite a strong pace towards the end. He caught up to me, so yeah, I don't know. Pace was decent, but not quite good enough. But I think it was good enough for points had we started higher.
Hey Franco, what a tough afternoon out there physically, but also from a car performance perspective as well.
Yeah, just very long, very tough with no pace, massive degradation. Just yeah, I did my best. I do all I can, but nothing comes together, and yeah, it's very frustrating, very long and frustrating day. 50 laps on the medium, that after 10 laps it felt like the tire was falling apart, and yeah, it's just very tricky to understand sometimes, and yeah, how we are very slow. And yeah, sometimes I just don't get the reason how we can be so far off the others.
From a personal level, it feels like you're making gains these last 4 race weekends. I know it's not showing in terms of car performance, but can you take some encouragement from that you're kind of, at least you're on pace with Pierre for your future as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable in the team, and I think the most positive thing is that we are working very well together. I'm very impressed by the team. By the team strength, the motivation that they put, the effort that they put every weekend, even though we are struggling a lot for pace and we can't find any solutions at the moment. How much they push and the perseverance that they put every weekend, it's very impressive, and that's the thing what I take and I learn week after week. But just the personal level, it's very frustrating and disappointing.
Nick, I know it's physically tough out there, but just generally behind the wheel, it looked like a tough one out there. Just talk me through how you feel right now.
Yeah, not our day, not our race, fair to say. Just, if we don't have track position, it's very difficult with our car. And I think generally on this street circuit, where I think you saw overtaking, how kind of almost impossible it is today, unless you have a huge tire delta. And by pitting late, obviously we lost more positions, and I have to review that a little bit, the strategy. But I don't feel, of course, a little bit missed opportunity, but I also feel we didn't really, have an amazing pace, and should have been well into the points.
And that moment where it looked like you had some real lock-in, what happened in that moment?
Yeah, I don't know what Franco was doing. He braked really early, so that was obviously a bit of a surprise. But then when we get close, I lost a lot of rear downforce. The rear axle locked up instantly, and huge rear lock up, and obviously it spun me around.
Hey Espan, obviously where you were starting, it was always an uphill battle to try and recover something. Just talk me through how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, of course. It was always going to be a tough challenge, but we gained position at the start on the first few laps. We were on for catching Lance at some stage. It was getting better through the race, but we stayed really late, and basically when we boxed, we lost out everything and couldn't recover because of the DRS train in front. So in the race, that was it really. I think we'll turn the page on this one. There will be a week to reflect on what happened exactly throughout the whole weekend. It's a big missed opportunity, and really unhappy with this one.
Did it feel like there was just a lot of things that just didn't go right this weekend? Because obviously Ollie's shown that there was the potential to score today.
Yeah, clearly.
Hey Pierre, obviously where you were starting, it was always going to be a tough afternoon. Just talk me through it, and you got very close and very up close and personal to the walls sometimes. It must have been a tough one out there.
Yeah, very difficult. I mean, from the pit lane, we knew on a track like that to overtake, it's extremely complicated, especially with the sort of speed we have. Quite frustrating one in traffic, and tried different things, but just impossible to get through. And the only time where we managed to show a bit more pace was when we boxed at the end and fit the soft, and the speed was a bit better, but it was just only 5-6 laps until we caught up some more traffic. So, from the pit lane, there wasn't much we could do anyway, but a bit long afternoon.
I know the focus obviously is on next year, and the remaining races are going to be tough. How are you kind of dealing with that and the team as well?
I think there are still things we need to do better overall as a team, and I think it's important we're gonna work out the coming week, because it just feels that overall kind of dropped performance the last few weeks, and I think we can do a better job than we've shown recently.
Hey Gabby, I know you were basically in a world of pain from the start. Just talk me through that moment and the contact and how that affected the rest of your race.
Yeah, definitely didn't help that start. What happened in T1 was unfortunately, and 3 wide in T1, I think sometimes these things happen. I don't think there's anyone's fault there. I think it's just racing, and unfortunately we ended up touching, broke the hand plate, and because we lost a lot of lap time in that first stint, the gaps were pulled away on that moment. And from there on, I think our race was a bit gone, and then we pitted for changing the front wing and tires, and we ended up staying very long in the race. And DAG was quite high for us, so no tires at the end.
Were you able to learn still a lot about the car, and did it feel a little bit better, even though you were kind of trapped behind and you couldn't make any progress?
I think we stayed behind Colapinto for very long, and unfortunately that cost us a lot of our race. So difficult to understand a bit what was our real pace today. Maybe if he was not ahead, could have pulled a bit of a gap, but I don't know. It's difficult to say.